right, marketers, grab your overpriced standing desks and that oat milk latte you love so much, because welcome to Notorious B2B, the only show where we treat LinkedIn drama like breaking news and expose the real B2B marketing sins.
Yeah, think of us like SNL meets TMZ, but for the people who argue about whether gated content is still a thing or not. I'm Task Bober, B2B landing page nerd and lovable troll on LinkedIn.
And I'm Tim Davidson, the guy making TikTok-style videos and cutting fruit on LinkedIn. Together, we're cutting out nonsense and roasting the most ridiculous trends in B2B marketing.
Because if we have to suffer through another 10 things getting engaged taught me about B2B sales, we're taking you all down with us.
Let's get into it.
Oh, what is going on? Okay, but listen, are you going to wear this the entire time?
No, it's too hot.
Did you wear this entire time waiting for me?
I did for 16 minutes and I took it off. It got too hot.
I'm sorry. You know, client calls. Prospect calls. We have to do that. So, do you think this is too like suns out, guns out kind of situation for the?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Just going for it. All right. Welcome to Notorious B2B, not B2C, B2B.
Okay, perfect.
What do we got today? What do we got?
Legend docket.
Docket. Serious docket. Like we have
Serious
a lot
docket.
of docket. You're a half hour late, so we got a docket to go.
I know. I'm sorry. Sahih, if you're listening,
blah, blah,
I'm selling
blah.
more people than you. That's what I mean.
He's like platform. He's not even.
Shh.
All right.
Okay.
What do we got though?
Okay. So the first thing is we have this segment called Urgent All Hands, which I was using as kind of like our breaking news. But sometimes things aren't like breaking news. It's more like we just want to let people know. But I still wanted that corporate tie-in. So here's a segment called Just Flagging. What do we think? What do we?
I was going to say just synergies.
Oh, what? No, that's
Flagging
more
our
like collaboration. No, this is just flagging. Just flagging for everybody. It's a quick Slack ping.
Loop in the audience. We'll loop
in. What is the Slack channel where it's like the whole company's in there and it's just like FYI, guys?
Random.
Is there? Oh,
Hashtag
random. Yeah, that's too boring.
Every company's got a hashtag random.
Yeah.
Or it's just general. It's just
General,
hashtag general.
That's boring though.
At here or at all. I think it's at here.
That's boring. We're going to go with just flagging.
Flagging synergies. All right.
Just flagging. So apparently 6sense was all caught up in a lawsuit before we decided to actually launch the podcast. So this is more of like a circle back, but it's new stuff for people who are listening. As we know, 6sense loves legal stuff, right? Someone made a joke about how they have a legal-led GTM motion, which I thought was freaking hilarious.
That's funny.
You get a C&D, you get a C&D, you get a lawsuit. However, they're on the receiving end of a lawsuit this time. So tit for tat, mofos, let's go. So here's the TLDR on the actual lawsuit. 6sense obviously sells this like, what would you classify it? ABM tool? For those who don't know.
I think that's the classic thing. I think they went with ABX at some point, but it's ABM tool.
ABM tool.
Sells
They're
tech.
able to identify accounts that visit your website. You can create audiences based off of that. You can run ads to these audiences. Who knows if it's accurate? Check a previous episode for where Tim and I argue about the accuracy of that. But anyway, so in their tool, they do these buyer profile cards, which are basically, they could pop up like a Tim Davidson works at, B2B Riz, he's in this industry, this company, whatever. And in their decks and their product demos, they did examples of what these buyer cards would look like. And they used real people as examples. Now, 6 of these people noticed that it was their face that 6sense was using in their product demos, in their slide decks, in the sample cards. And they were like, hold up. You used our faces and our information without consent. We're coming after you. And they got together and decided to sue over a publicity rights suit. But what happened was, this sat obviously in the court system for a while, but recently the biggest update is that a judge basically threw the lawsuit out and said, listen, you guys are not special. It's not like they actually used Tim Davidson's face or Devin Reed's face.
I'm
or
getting it
anybody
now. Yeah.
famous, right? You didn't use Dave Gerhardt's face and like you're trying to say that they are endorsing the product. You guys are like little nobodies. They could have picked anybody at random. It's basically saying if 6sense is like the Costco of profiles, they just picked like
Just
six of them to
random
show.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They weren't picking with the intention of like Kim Kardashian sponsoring 6sense, right? So you don't have any grounds and they threw the lawsuit out. The hilarious thing then I wrote translation for the rest of us. If your product screenshots happen to show real humans, you're still safe as long as you're not leveraging their star power, in quotes, that's what the judge said, to juice conversations or conversions. But perhaps you should use fake people just to stay away from legal issues.
Why didn't they use fake people? Why didn't they use just like,
AI generated people?
or stock photo? Like what everyone else does, just stock photo. Like, why not do that?
You know, it's so funny because it's like the one time it's
Yeah.
okay to use stock images. We fucking don't. We're just like, yeah, we're just gonna use real people off the LinkedIn streets, grab their information, use them as examples. But would you be pissed? Or if I saw my face in some product, I'm like, oh, that's kind of flattering. Let's
I'd
see.
personally be like, yeah, have at it. Like, let's keep the notoriety going. Like, that's what I would say.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
how many times do they show sales decks? I mean, they're a bigger company. Like, fuck yeah,
yeah, yeah. They're like,
use my
oh,
face. I get
who's
why
Tim
people don't,
Davidson? Yeah,
but
like
I do get it, right? Like, if because the assumption, well, someone could assume that if you're using their face, that they're also like a buyer of the product. I know it's a little
mm,
different because it's more of like the persona.
yes.
So maybe that actually doesn't even really correlate. So I think the judge, to an extent, is right. But I
Yeah,
guess
he's
like,
like,
can you just do that? Can you just use anyone's profile?
I think you can. I mean, it's giving me these vibes of like celebrities, you know, where it's like some person's trying to sue like Drake. Drake tried and it's like, oh, can I get a buck off of this? It's kind of reminding me of that, even though that's
Mm,
not where these people are coming in from. Now, in some of the articles that I saw, I just wrote six real people. These were actually six marketers. And
oh,
6sense sells to marketers. So like I would
right.
imagine it's
It's
like
a
those
small world.
prospects who are like, why the hell are you using my stuff? It's
Yeah.
already a sensitive product category because it's identification software, right? On top of everything else. So I wonder if there was like some privacy things in play as well. But they
Well,
don't
that's the
do
thing.
person level, right?
No, they don't. Which is why I find
Interesting.
it weird. Why not just use like the classic like grayed out avatar?
Yeah.
Because
At
also
like
like,
random
and I don't
names.
know, but I don't think they do this. But like, if you actually use the platform, do they use their images in that? You know, like, all right, VP of marketing at this company is showing intent, and it's like a
Yeah.
fake image of like this
Yeah.
person. I
Like
don't think so.
Acme
But
Corp. They could have gotten the same message across had they done like AI generated picture, which you can do these days, even one step beyond stock imagery. But the balls to be like, we're just gonna take this random person, but like they obviously sourced it from somewhere, you know?
well, so we talked about this last week where CapCut, you use it, they have the rights to the videos, right? If you
Mm,
put your profile on LinkedIn, and I'm pretty sure it's just public, right? So
yeah.
I don't think you have rights to have other people not use that. I don't think
Well, LinkedIn will double down
LinkedIn can use
on
it.
that. Yeah, LinkedIn can use it, but I don't know if 6sense can be like, okay, I'm gonna steal this person's LinkedIn profile picture,
Why
right?
not though? Maybe they scrape data. Everyone else scrapes their data. Why not? Why can't you steal the profile picture?
I
Think
guess.
about that.
Yeah, true.
You make a profile. You're public at that point. You put stuff on the internet. You're public.
That's true. That is true. That is why, side note, I don't like to put pictures of my children
That's
on
fair.
public.
Go
I do it
everywhere. I don't care.
only on private Instagram, but that's also probably under Facebook's usage rights, I bet. You said you do, you don't.
Not kids, but me. Have at it. I
Oh,
don't care.
yeah, I know.
So
I was like, I'm everywhere.
make a billion selling OnlyFans, and I'll still come after you. But you can use my face. I don't care.
That's like when someone used Taylor Swift and made all that like what was it like deep fake AI porn or whatever with Taylor Swift's face. It's only a matter of time before we're all in a porn video against our will.
Well, yeah. I mean, AI is gonna screw everything up. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's
Okay.
already happening.
All right, moving back. Moving
Actually,
along. What?
another side note. So this is kind of similar. VO3, like the video thing,
Yes, your new obsession.
I'm obsessed with it. But there's sometimes when you put a prompt in that and you tell it to say a specific thing,
Hmm.
it'll use different voices. And one of the
Mhm.
voice is the co-host of the All In Pies,
All
Moth, I
in
think.
podcast.
And it's literally his voice. And I've heard him talk about it on one of his podcasts that like I don't think he doesn't give them the rights for that, but they're able
What?
to use it. Like it, and maybe it's not exactly his voice, but it's not, you can, when you
You could
hear it,
tell it's him.
it's like,
Like,
all right, this sounds exactly like it. Like no way,
wow.
I'll give you one of the videos from VO3 and I'll give you maybe we can play like a video of his podcast for like 2 seconds and you can hear the voice changes or the voices and just see if it's the same. That'd be interesting.
Okay.
But it's like I think AI can just take your data because it's public. Like
Interesting.
when you make a podcast, YouTube, like you give that like YouTube,
Hmm.
Google, VO3, YouTube, you put your video on YouTube. Do you own it
It's
anymore?
in.
No,
Yeah.
you're out.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang.
It's tricky though, because then like when people do, that's where Trump changed, right? But when you use Taylor Swift's face, when you use
Yes.
these famous
Snoop
people's
Dogg.
faces,
Well, I got this ad for this thing where you could take a picture of a book, any book, and then it'll pull up the ebook and you can choose 6 different voice types, one being Snoop Dogg. And I was like, oh, you must have made money
mm,
off of this licensing deal. But they're probably just doing it, waiting for these people to react and then saying, okay, we'll either take it down or we'll pay you. Kind of like how we wait for C&Ds before we decide to
yeah,
check whether we can mention something. So it's kind of like ask for forgiveness later, you know?
maybe. I mean, Snoop has resources to come after you though if he wanted. Might not
Exactly.
want to, but I wouldn't
People
fuck
love
with
Snoop's
people like
voice.
that.
Like I remember
Yeah.
when I had Waze back in the day, all my Waze was him telling me like,
Was it?
yes, all it was
Interesting.
like, yeah, it was just Snoop going, take a right here, shawty. I was like, all
Really?
right, yes, it
You
was
can
the
set it up like
best.
that? Oh,
It
interesting.
was the best. You could pick Snoop's voices, yeah. And he'd be like, you better slow down. Yeah, just stuff like that. This is me trying to be Snoop. Clearly not. I should just stick to B2B. Okay, let's move on. Are we moving on?
I'm just curious. Do we? It doesn't say who these people are, right? Like I would just be curious if they even changed it or like find these people. Like I don't know. Just be interesting.
Oh, who? The 6 marketers?
Yeah.
I could, if I really wanted to, I could probably look up the files. I don't know if they're public. They probably are. But
Maybe we.
why do we
Well, they
want to
probably
look
wouldn't
them
say the
up?
names. No, I would just I want to see how they feel. Do they really? Do they
Oh,
really
you want to
matter?
reach out to them?
Kinda.
We always say that and we never reach out to anybody.
I'm also just curious. Like I'd be curious, like what they look like. Are they like very good looking? Is that why they chose? Are they like not, and that's why they chose them? I don't know.
Are they
Is
not?
diversity there? Like, does one have glasses? One bald? One, anything? One have whatever.
Speaking of how people look, somebody said that you remind them of the
Chris
movie.
Hemsworth.
No, the movie Up
Uh,
character in
yes,
it.
my wife has bought me. Oh, actually, we could do this right now. I will show you this. I have a thing of Up because my wife thinks I look like the guy from Up. There it is, right there.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Look at that.
Especially the younger version of him, where they
Yes, the
show like
younger
a
version.
flashback.
That's the
Yeah,
one I
looks like
posted a
me.
picture of in one of the comments. Did you see my comment with his younger version? I was like, oh, now I can't unsee it.
I made a joke. There was that time when everyone's like telling Link or Chat GPT to make a what do you think I look like?
Yeah.
And I posted it. I was like, they just gave me an image of the guy from Up, and people are
Oh,
like, oh, I see it.
yes,
It's funny.
totally. Okay, it's very cute. Okay, anyway, not Chris Hemsworth is where we're
I've
going.
tried to use them as my logo, by the way. You can't. Disney will not let you.
As your logo for what? Your business?
I was trying to make a mascot, and like I was having
Oh.
ChatGPT create them, trademark. So no, can't.
So it told you no?
ChatGPT told me, yeah.
Whoa, wow, ChatGPT with the boundaries. Usually that
No
bitch
one,
says
no
yes
one,
to me for everything. Even if it has to make stuff up, it will
no
say
one
yes to me.
fucks with Disney.
No one fucks with Disney, not
They
even
don't mess around.
OpenAI. Okay.
Yeah, do
All
not
right.
mess around.
Okay, circling back.
All right,
Here's the latest on Builder AI. For those that don't know,
Builder.
Builder AI, I know,
Regular
week in
here.
a row. Third week in a row. It's hot right now. Valued at like $1 billion. They inflated their numbers. Shit came
Nice.
out, and basically they found out that their AI powered software was actually powered by 700 engineers in India manually doing everything. But the last update we had was that the founder said he had no idea that any of this was going on, right? But
Nice.
in the last week, here's the newest stuff that came out. He actually cashed out $20 million worth of shares before the collapse. And so now the U.S. prosecutors have opened inquiries into the company's accounting and financial practices to be like, really? Come on. You just happen to do it. It's a little bit close.
Great. Quite the coincidence.
Quite the coincidence. So that's the latest on Builder.ai. Continues to be shady. He's just one step away from fleeing to Dubai and hanging out with Deel's CEO, right?
They probably have a penthouse together, just hanging.
Yeah.
They
And
just
in this
listen
penthouse,
to our podcast.
yeah, listen to our podcast and be like, can they stop talking about us, please, for the love of God? Okay. Speaking of Deel in his penthouse, here's what's also happening on the Rippling versus Deel, which we haven't had an update in a little bit, right?
Until now.
Until now. Keith O'Brien,
Good.
our James Bond of the situation, for those who don't know.
But he's not that good because James Bond doesn't get caught. So.
Does he not? Okay. Not on
9/007.
Okay. For those that don't know, obviously, Rippling accused Deel of having a corporate spy at their work who was feeding them all the information about Rippling's Deel's prospects, stuff that related to Deel, all of those things. They ended up doing this like honeypot Slack thing where they caught him. He goes and hides in the bathroom. He's trying to delete everything off of his phone per the instruction of Deel prosecutors. And now the case has obviously gone into the court system. And this is where we are, which is the hired mole is now saying that men have been following him. So he's the star witness in the case, obviously. He was hired by Deel to spy on Rippling. He testified that he tried to lose this black SUV that was following his car and making sudden turns and taking roundabouts on the way to get home, only to see it continue to reappear in his rear view mirror. He went as far as hiring a security consulting company, and he's worried that someone is placing tracking devices on his car. His wife and him are scared for their safety and the safety of their 4 kids. 4 kids, which that now explains the like, I will take cash in any form. You want crypto? You want to pay me in crypto? You want me to spy on people? Fine. I have 4 mouths to feed. 6.
Maybe 5,000 pounds a month for something like this, not that much.
Okay, maybe it's you can't even go to Disney for 4 people.
No, you can't. 5,000 pounds, like 7,500.
You think so? Okay.
As long as you don't get the breakfast, then you're good.
Okay, you can't feed them, but you can show them a good time.
Well, yeah, bring in snacks. Bring snacks.
Just bring goldfish. There is no evidence, though, tying these men to Deel. Obviously, Deel has denied any involvement, much like them denying that they even did any kind of corporate espionage at all. So Keith's still having a good time with this thing. There was a quote in here that I did not put in there, but the judge of the case was like, I feel like I'm in a 1970s Cops and Robbers.
Oh, yeah. Saw that.
Cops and Robbers movie. So that is the latest over there. But you know what's super interesting that I found yesterday is Rippling is actually providing updates on this situation on their own blog. So while you are posting 10 ways to use AI in SEO, Rippling is posting about this case and the latest on their website. Their latest blog is New Evidence Shows Deel CEO Alex Bouaziz and top leadership personally directed corporate espionage scheme, new legal filing alleges. Now, in this article, I was reading it, and basically they said that there was an amended complaint against Deel. However, it doesn't say who did the amended complaint. So I'm assuming Rippling put the amended complaint in based on, I don't know what evidence, but it just says the amended complaint includes new messages show stolen information was weaponized in real time by Deel CEO. Rippling is not the only victim. In one case, the complaint alleges Deel stole victim 3's entire CRM. And here's a quote. To date, at least 4 distinct corporate victims have been identified, each targeted, infiltrated, and compromised to serve the aims of Bouaziz's racketeering enterprise. Deel specifically targeted other major EOR competitors, and the complaint alleges that other major EOR competitors have uncovered eerily similar conduct by Deel or its associates to obtain their confidential information and trade secrets. What's crazy about this article, though, which I'm going to share right now.
Screenshots.
Screenshots. Bro, they do a better job of us.
Wait, the WhatsApp profile picture is killing me.
Is insane. Okay. So in this article, it says new messages show stolen information was weaponized in real time. So it has a screenshot of this like Slack message that's in this like, assuming this is Rippling's Slack
Yeah.
instance. And it's talking about like prospect A, which they blurred out, global cloud submitted for approval by X. So they kind of talk about these are people who are trying to move from Deel to Rippling. But that afternoon, the Deel CEO then sends a WhatsApp message to prospect A company. Yeah. Oh my God. We got to zoom in here. What
So
is
the profile picture of the co-founder or CEO, he
Alex?
has like
No, it's the Snapchat
filter. Yeah.
filter where he's got the dog and where you stick out your tongue and then,
Yeah.
the tongue comes out. That's his
The
profile
ears,
picture and
like
the ears. And his message, so they get a notification in the Rippling Slack that says that a company, a prospect, is moving from Deel to Rippling. That afternoon, Deel CEO messages the prospect, who's obviously their existing customer, and says, "Big boss, heard you were using a few other products than Deel. Would love to win your heart on a consolidation. It's Alex from Deel."
no. Misspells consolidation. Forgets the N.
Yeah.
Consolidatio.
It's Alex from Deel. So he's never messaged this guy before to feel the need to say, "Hey, it's Alex from Deel."
Damn.
Then on November 19th, the founder told the Rippling sales team, "On the same day of our call, I received a WhatsApp message from a French number saying, 'I am the Deel CEO.'" The founder noted, "That scared the shit out of me." Yeah. So then they have an image of that email that says, "On another note, funny enough, the same day of our call, I received a WhatsApp message from a French number. I'm the Deel CEO. That scared the shit out of me." The next day, he followed up with our team, wondering how they would know this information in real time. Okay, on Deel Intelligence, I'm just curious to know how they would know it in real time. I haven't posted anything on LinkedIn nor went out asking for quotes. Do you have a perspective on that? Rippling was not the only victim. To date, at least 4 distinct corporate victims have been identified, right? And so
What does that mean? Like they do
basic,
this to other companies?
they do this to other companies, is what they're insinuating.
Wait. They planted people in other companies too?
It says 4 distinct corporate victims have been identified, compromised to serve the aims of his racketeering enterprise. In one case, the complaint alleges Deel stole Victim 3's, which is a company, it looks like,
Oh, okay.
CRM.
Never mind. They stole 4 companies as customers. I was thinking they put a spy in whatever, Gusto and other competitors.
Well, it's sounding like they are doing that, though,
Oh.
right? So
I guess so.
here's the receipt, a screenshot of the actual complaint where it says Victim 3. Shortly after Rippling's initial complaint, Victim 3, a startup accelerator, informed Rippling that Deel had stolen the startup accelerator's CRM, i.e., its trade secret. So basically just lifted the entire CRM, supposedly, allegedly, right? We don't know yet. So Victim 3 is the name of a company, but that is the one that's identified. Apparently, they've done this to 3 others. Then Deel specifically targeted other major EOR competitors. Let's see here. Victim 4 plus. So they are sanitizing the names with Victim 3, Victim 4, obviously. So underscoring this enterprise's broader fixation beyond Rippling, forensic analysis. The frick? Forensic analysis revealed that the enterprise's spy had searched Rippling Slack to find confidential information targeting 9 Deel separate competitors over 300 times, including Papaya, Velocity Global, Remote, GP, Omnipresent, Oyster, Boundless, Payzar, and Remo First. In fact, searches for one competitor, Oyster, represented approximately half of O'Brien's Slack searches, 150 in total in the months following the spy's recruitment by Alex. So not only was it inside Deel, but also just trying to get all competitive intelligence, which honestly, why not? You're there, you're already fucking up, just go all in, right? See what they're saying about other competitors. Because
I must say, there should have been an automation here. Like this guy's searching too much. What's going on here?
Was he using AI at all?
Come on. Noob.
Yeah, noob. Yeah. And then here are some pictures of some other stuff. Images from Keith O'Brien's phone clearly show Alex and Dan attempting a cover-up So
Damn.
caught red-handed, Deel CEO Alex and COO Dan worked to erase all digital traces of contact with O'Brien. On March 20th, O'Brien noticed that Alex, the 33 number below, had renamed the three-way WhatsApp group chat between himself, O'Brien, and defendant Westgarth from Keith to Dan to just V and left the group. 3 days later, the defendant Westgarth left the group chat. And they have images here of the name being changed to V. And yeah, you were added. This person has changed the group name from Keith and Dan to V, and then deleted this message. You are now an admin, which means everybody left. So sad. Here's the pictures of them leaving, past members.
I must say, I'm kind of impressed by Rippling here. I
That
like what
they
they're
got
doing.
so many receipts.
Well, I'm assuming it's discovery. How do you get those screenshots without? It must be like a discovery thing. I don't know, but I guess discovery stuff is public, must be public knowledge, so they're allowed to post it. Why not take the narrative in your way?
Yeah.
Like, why not do that? Like, that's honestly, I'm excited for them. That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's this thing of like, no matter the outcome of the case, whether Deel wins or
Yeah,
not, it
it's all
does not
perspective.
matter. It does not matter. There is public prosecution that happens. And that's exactly what's going on right now, where it's like, hey, yeah, sure, you can follow the case filings and see whether it does and the judge and whatever. But here are the receipts, here's stuff. And this is like an entire like reputation management play by taking them down and showing the receipts. There's more. Deel's lawyers actually got caught in real time attempting to contact their spy on a burner phone. So on March 15th, they instructed the spy to destroy his phone and buy a burner. From March 15th to the 25th, O'Brien spoke with Deel's lawyers every single day. He came forward, confessed, and turned over his devices, including his burner, to an independent forensic investigator. Why independent? Not realizing the phone was actually in the possession of a forensic investigator, Deel's lawyers attempted to call their spy twice the morning he was scheduled to appear in court. No. When the phone rang, the investigator took a picture of Deel's lawyer calling the burner. So O'Brien was due back in court on the 31st to face Justice Sanfei. In the 2 hours leading up to his court hearing, Malik, who was not aware that O'Brien had confessed, attempted to contact O'Brien twice by way of his burner phone. Wow. And then they have pictures of that. Now, I don't know, like it obviously shows like SDP01, so we don't know if that's really them, right?
Yeah.
And then username, that's how it ties. So the burner phone, it says SDP01, info, the username is SPDLW. And then on the Asif Malik, which I'm assuming is the lawyer, there's a mobile number, and then the username is SPDLW. So that's kind of like tying them together. And then there were proof of crypto payments. So just to final nail on the coffin, here are back and forths on blockchain.com.
Yeah, I mean, this has to be like discovery stuff. I don't know how they get all this information.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just stuff that they got just from independent investigation that was given to both sides. And one side's like, fuck it, we're making it public, bro.
Why not? I mean, shoot, SEO play, like in a few years, let's just say a couple years from now, people are just going to forget about it. But people are still going to be buying Rippling and Deel. And they're probably going to search for Rippling versus Deel. And what's going to come up? Probably this stuff. And who's going to win the narrative right now? Rippling. Doesn't matter who wins the court.
Yeah.
Rippling's going to win right now.
Woof, woof, woof.
Because then they're going to add some like call to actions in there, like buy our stuff. It's going to be perfect. They're going to sell stuff. It's going to be great.
Okay. I do think that we need to include the link to this article in the show notes. We're really bad about that, but add the link to this article so people can go and look at the receipts themselves. But it is far more detailed than you and I have ever covered. We just love that Keith is enjoying so much attention. But outside of that, there's actual receipts of stuff. And so we'll make sure that we can link that so you can read it yourself. But it is quite interesting to go through and see all the receipts and see all the screenshots and stuff. This is like insane investigation.
The person doing it must have a blast. Like that
blast.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
They're also the kind of person you could never cheat on. Because like they would have the receipts, like they knew how to take screenshots, you know, like
I really do think that's discovery. I don't think they have the phone. I don't think the person behind the blog,
yeah,
like getting the phone and stuff.
I'm just saying, don't cheat on the
Side
person.
note, what if this is all AI?
No way.
You could 100% doctor those. I bet you can doctor those
The
images.
blockchain.com maybe.
You
But
could
some
doctor
of
all
those like
that.
picture in pictures, even the like shitty quality and stuff, you think?
Put it in the prompt. Make it
Okay.
look like it's not perfect. Put a little granularity or graininess to it. Whatever you want to say.
That is okay, that's gonna be
Make
your
it look
job.
like I got it from Discovery.
That's gonna be your job.
To
Is to
what?
check on VO3 or whatever since you're obsessed. Whether you
No,
can
that's not video. Those
doctor
are
some.
images. So I
Oh,
wouldn't even worry about that.
you're like, okay.
We'll
Well,
never know.
figure it out
We'll never
somewhere.
know. I'm just saying it could be.
Okay. Okay.
Could be.
Okay. That is the circling back segment. We noodle. Now it's time to noodle on a few things, perhaps a little more lighthearted, hopefully. I feel
Yeah.
very hot
Are
from
these?
everything. But now it's your turn. You cover some
You
of the
already
less
took the
serious
jacket
stuff.
off.
I was so hot after my call right before this, and then the stress of you being mad also, and then the sweat started to pour. So, okay,
All
what do
right.
we have first on the
What are
Let's
we
Noodle?
noodling here? All
Yeah,
right.
what are we noodling?
So we all know about the comment gates, comment ransoms. They've become rampant, and I think we all know a lot of people are getting annoyed by them, no doubt.
Yes, there are more
Jen?
posts about them.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like.
100. There's a
Yes.
lot. Yeah.
Yes.
So the question is, what's the solution? Because everyone clearly loves them, and no one's going to stop. But Jen Allen-Knuth has an idea. She puts, all right, here's the simple solution for all the comment X to receive a link to my playbook/webinar. People, you don't have to put a link in your post, and you don't have to manually reply to comments. Instead of asking people to comment on your posts, ask them to DM you. But first, 1, go to your LinkedIn messages. 3, select the 3 dots at the top right. 3, set an away message. It does look like you have to be a premium or LinkedIn sales navigator, so you'd have to pay a little bit, but it's all right. And then add a link to your asset to your away message. Now, anytime someone DMs you, they immediately get the promised content. No hassle for you, no empty promises for them. It's actually a good idea for if you're doing the post, you want people to get it. It's actually pretty good there. Like it's a good automated way. And the only thing it doesn't solve for is if they're not connected with you and they don't have in-mail credits.
Well, I think the biggest thing is people want you to comment on the post.
Yeah.
Because they want to have access to your network, which then this one does not solve for that because people would just be DMing you directly instead of actually commenting on your post, right? They're going to see the post and it's going to say, hey, DM me. I'm going to DM instead of commenting and liking your post. So that virality aspect isn't going to happen.
Maybe. I don't think we know. I've read those kind of like, all right, LinkedIn, here's how to grow on LinkedIn, blah, 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 like that, do the research. And there is an aspect of people DMing people and getting DMs that plays into like your reach and stuff, like to an extent. I don't think we know the extent of how much that could play. Like, what if you have one of those posts that get 1,000 typically comments, but instead you have 1,000 people DMing you?
Ugh. So
yeah, I would hate. I'm out. Like I'm done. I'm done. But could it, in theory, boost your reach because you know,
like a signal to LinkedIn?
Yes.
That like, oh,
Maybe.
this person posted something valuable where people are now like going nuts. Because it doesn't like when there's automation going the other way, which is like you blasting 1,000 people, it's going to be like something's wrong with this person. But if 1,000 people are hitting you up, then they're like, oh, they must have something that these people want. We have to test that theory.
All within a time period, right? And it's and obviously LinkedIn knows stuff. Like it's going to know that people are seeing this post and then they go to DM you. Yeah. Like there's probably they have like those metrics of, all right, I see the your post and then they come and view your profile. Yeah. This could be like a signifier of them. Well, they are going to view your profile anyway, actually. So that's actually probably another
indication. Yeah, because they go to your profile, then try to message you. If you don't have like send me a message or something like that as your CTA. The only problem is you have to pay for premium, which I guess you could just do for a couple of months while you plan to do this. And it's stupid, astronomical, and like, but you pay for it, don't you? I pay for it. It's not astronomical. It's like $200 or something like that. Oh. It's a write-off. Just go write it off. You're right. Go write it off. We ate ice cream in Cincinnati and I put on the business card because we were like, obviously with LinkedIn people, and I went for work and my husband's like, there's no way you're writing that off. I'm like, everything on the business card. Why not? It's written off. I don't know. What does he know that we don't know? Nothing. All right, he doesn't know. He's just a hater. No haterades. No haterades. Like the amount of stuff I've write off that is legal. Yeah. See, legal, but yeah, it's legal. It's weird. Okay, look at what Brendan says. But then how do I get 700K impressions and brag to all my followers about it? It's so
We
true.
don't know. We don't know that it wouldn't.
Should we try it?
I'm not gonna try because I do not want that many messages. So,
I wouldn't even. I'm so bad about responding to the
oh my
messages that I get
gosh.
now.
If I get 5 in a row, I can't see the fifth one, so I'm done. I'm out. Like if I can't see it,
Yeah.
it's out.
I'm terrible about the LinkedIn DMs right now. You actually have a better chance of getting to me through a comment than through LinkedIn DM. Anyway, okay. So a lot of these people, yeah, they're like, but I can't have thousands of comments on my post. And that's the key that they're trying to get from these people. You know what I mean? So,
I think
okay.
it's a good. I actually do think it's a good solution if you do it the what that everyone's been doing the comment, and then instead of having to like DM every single person, this could be a way you could also add in there, hey, DM me, and you'll get it right away. It could be a solution for that. Like parts of it, again, if someone doesn't have email credits or something like that, then they can't DM you, or they're not connected. So, but it could be a solution for that. So it could solve the one problem of I get 1,000, 3,000 million comments, and I cannot physically just go to everyone and DM them.
Just use the clay table like the hockey sack guy. Oh, we said we're not talking about him anymore. Okay.
Wait, what? No, clay table. No. Oh, you're talking about some. I'm talking about. Wait, what?
The hockey stack guy said he was going to use a clay table to like automate the sending of the DMs. So I'm
No, did you
like,
see that Clay came out with it, something like that?
yeah, I know. It didn't
Oh,
Obed
it's a
say that.
feature. No, it's
Oh,
a
it's a
feature.
feature now?
Yeah, Clay made it.
Because just to further perpetuate this
Yeah.
like shitty tactic.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
I forgot who posted it, but I think Jen actually or someone commented saying like, don't encourage them. Like don't encourage them.
Yes, don't encourage them. Please do not encourage
But it's out
them.
there. We'll have to find it.
Yuck.
We'll
No
come back
thanks.
to it.
I don't like that at all. Okay, next one. This
Next
one is
one's a good
actually
one.
kind of sad. Yeah, it's a good one, but it's a sad one. You sent this one to me.
I did.
Yeah, tell me what's going on here.
A little TLDR. People getting fired for liking LinkedIn posts. All right, so David Blanov,
Blina.
he shares a screenshot, but he says 2 marketers got fired for liking my LinkedIn post. What the
Fuck.
star CK? Fuck. They tagged a colleague under one of my posts. Their CEO saw it. By the next day, they were both gone.
Wow.
Apparently, agreeing with a post that about realistic marketing goals is a fireable offense. This isn't just absurd, it's toxic. But it points to a deeper issue. Too many B2B leaders still see marketing as a support function, blah, blah, blah. He's just supporting marketing there.
Yeah.
But basically, 2 people, he must have posted something about
Yes.
unrealistic, marketing goals. And the CEO of this company saw 2 of their employees liking it and fired them.
The very next day. And so he links to the post, his original post.
Yeah.
And the original post says, you are hired as a B2B CMO. The company tells you that it wants to turn marketing into a revenue driver and leverage AI. They expect you to add 25% to the sales pipeline by the end of the year. The job sounds exciting and a welcome challenge, but in a few months you realize there's huge MarTech debt, siloed departments, yada, yada, yada. All of these are expected for a company in a digital transformation phase, but each will massively impact your ROI timeline. So many CMOs face a disconnect between the expected outcome and the time needed to build functional marketing. And this is one of the reasons why CMOs have such short tenure. You either burn out, quit, or get fired because there's no quick ROI. So it's a very standard, like we see posts like this all the time on LinkedIn where we're like, okay, unrealistic expectations. It's not like it's that like profound.
No.
But somebody in here, we don't know who, he sanitized and we'll keep it that way. But someone tagged their coworker and liked the post. And then obviously that shows to your network, which I'm sure is the reason why I also got fired. Well, I was actively posting dumb shit. But anyway, don't do that. And then he ended up getting that message from the person. It was the DM. And that's where the DM said, your post set me free was the subject line. And the DM to David said, hi, David, I'm writing to share a personal/absurd story, which you may or may not respond to. No pressure. This post that you shared below really resonated with me, so I tagged a colleague. The CEO of my now former employer saw this on LinkedIn, took it personally, and then went on to terminate both of us yesterday. Obviously, this is extreme and unexpected. However, it has also set me free. Marketing is terribly misunderstood today. Staying would have meant walking on eggshells and perpetuating falsehoods. Keep the marketing hard truths coming, and I look forward to following along. I mean, it was such a nice message. Obviously, like, you know, no blame, none of that, but just like also doesn't seem super beat up about it. But it's like
No.
the number of times though, I'll post something and then I'll get a DM or someone will text me and be like, oh my God, I saw your post and it totally resonated with me. I can't like it though because I don't want so and
Oh,
so to see. I get that all the time. And it's so true. Like that's half the reason why most of LinkedIn are lurkers and not interactors, because like what they actually believe they can't really say inside these companies.
that's so crazy.
It's not insane. This is obviously a very extreme example, but it's like this is the thing that's going to make people think 3 or 4 times before they even comment or even tag a colleague or even like a post. Like it even shows me all the time, like Tim likes this. You know what I
So
mean?
yeah, to be honest, I've never had to deal with that because my CEO just never cared. My own CEO now, but not to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not
I
to.
think I have to.
Okay.
And maybe I'm wrong, but a
Mm-hmm.
CEO fires two of their employees because they one commented and tagged the person, and then they probably both liked it. Is that enough to fire someone, or was that already something going on, and it's like this is the last straw?
I mean, I'm sure there's some buildup and some stuff around it, right? We don't
Because if
know the
you're a
full
killer,
context.
if you're a killer in the organization, and like, would they really get fired though for that?
Well, here's the thing. It's not even saying like the CMO fired or like some
Right.
director, whatever. It's the CEO. Sometimes, as if you follow like Anthony and Rob, like they always talk about like founders' egos, like how they have to
Mm-hmm.
talk through that. And I would say like when you're dealing with a CEO, founder, that kind of stuff, someone who's like super passionate, like super worried about pride and their ego and their reputation, like this is totally a thing that could happen if you have a pretty standard, you know, dude
Yeah, I
who do
just don't think the
that.
post was that bad.
It's not bad at all. Are you going to go
If it was
through
like,
the 152 comments and see who
no,
tagged who?
absolutely
And
not.
like,
Well, we probably could actually, because it's only just they probably
well, we
deleted it.
don't know. It could be more than just like a little bitty name. And, you know, here's the other thing is like maybe they had a thread going in here and there was far more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There could have been.
Yeah.
Just doing some investigating
Yeah,
here.
doing some light snooping.
Just seeing some people that were tagged.
Yeah, sounds way too familiar. I mean, that's the thing is, was it just like a simple tag or was it like some additional context tag? You know, it's like, oh, we know someone just like that, don't we,
Yeah, what if they said
James?
like our
Wink,
CEO is a
wink.
dick?
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know and we won't know. But again, not, it's actually quite a tepid take for LinkedIn. But this is the stuff that where
Yeah, this
people are
is
just
lukewarm.
scared to talk about it. I remember specifically when I started writing on LinkedIn, I was still working in house and we treated our company page exactly like the types of company pages that would get attacked on LinkedIn, right? We're just posting about events, posting about our
Mm.
product, like not really a strategy like how Gong and those guys like are actually trying to be cool and doing like cool stuff on there. And I remember posting about how I think companies should actually run their LinkedIn company pages, but it was very obvious that my company wasn't doing it. And I was like, oh, I bet if they read this, they
Mm.
would feel a type of way. And I made a lot of comments on other people's posts, like, oh, yeah, you know, I know what this is like. And I'm sure my boss saw it and she was like, oh, who else are you talking about? You're talking about me. My husband posted something a while ago and it was about just like, hey, you know, in meetings, it's really important to like listen more than you speak. That's why you have the 2 ears and one mouth thing. And his boss, like in a meeting later, was like, hey, was that about me? Like, I didn't know if you were trying to talk. He was like, no, I was just talking about in general. So everyone has the spotlight effect where they think it's about them, even if it isn't. But this is obviously an extreme measure where he's like, well, screw you. I don't want anybody thinking about me this way. You know, get out.
Do you think, because there's definitely some like laws about firing people, like, do you
Yes.
think this has something to it? Like,
Like cause.
yeah, like what's the cause here? Because I like to put like I didn't mean to. I got fat fingers. Like it could be like something like that. Like
I
I'm sure they
mean,
didn't say the cause was this, so I'm sure they have a legal answer.
here's the thing is that my husband, again, we had this conversation the other day where I was like, we went to Cincinnati to meet up with, you know, Rob. I posted about that today, Rob Kaminsky from Fletch and then Vincent Pierre. So like these guys. And we were talking about when we post on LinkedIn and we were working in-house and like how it was kind of tricky to navigate. But Rob said that he had set boundaries earlier and said, he told the owner of the agency he worked at the time, hey, I'm going to be posting. This is not during work hours. It's my own personal hobby. I'm going to be doing this, and it'll probably help you. Maybe it won't, but like, just know it's my own personal thing. I'm planning to do that. I started posting. I didn't talk to my company about it at all, which was probably a
Yeah.
mistake. But I told my husband, yeah. So I told my husband, I was like, oh, Rob said that, and that was really cool. Maybe if I did that, it wouldn't have ended so sourly. And he's like, I don't think you owed anyone an explanation. It's your personal page. You were talking about stuff. You weren't even like, it's not like you were dogging on the company. You were sharing expertise. Like, I don't think you owed them an explanation. It's your own personal thing. However, I don't know about your employment contracts, but all the employment contracts I had policies about appropriate social media use and that it cannot reflect negatively on companies. Now, that is obviously so open ended. Anything
Yeah.
could be interpreted as a negative impact on the company, right? They obviously create contracts to favor themselves over you, they protect themselves. So I'm sure if he really wanted to, there's a loophole in there that enables a termination clause based on appropriate social media behavior and how it reflects on the company.
I think mine did, but it was more like it's like like if I start getting, I don't even want to say the stuff like the stuff I could probably say, right? Like it's just like super egregious stuff that would hurt any company.
Yes.
Like obviously there's a line at any point regardless of contract.
Yeah.
But if you're just like making jokes about or just like liking a post, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
we don't know. We don't know what they said, if they said any context in here, if they very transparently insinuated who it was, that kind of thing. We don't know. If they would just simple like, I see a post and I just tag Tim Davidson, like that means nothing,
yeah.
right? And the thing is someone gonna like, is that employee gonna really take this company to court over this? It would probably cost them a lot more than their jobs to do that. And so, and then there's other things in employment contracts, which is at will firing. Any side can
Yeah, you can
walk
do whatever you
away.
want.
You can do whatever you want. I think there's a few states that have like laws in place for that. I think California, you need to have like specific cause for
Oh, Europe.
termination. Europe,
Oh,
100%.
geez, you can't fire, you literally
You
can't
can't
fire
fire
anyone.
anyone in Europe. However, Ohio doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Ohio. What do you
Yeah,
expect?
it's Ohio. It's like, no, you shouldn't be doing that shit.
Just a
You know,
bunch of like, nuclear sites and stuff.
yeah, exactly. Okay. We spent a lot of time on this guy. Now,
Good for him.
this was more of a funny thing, and someone sent this over to us, which I thought was hilarious. They tagged us in the post, but Bethany Moody posted, boo.
What was that?
That's my elevator music in my head. Okay. Bethany Moody posted, my boss was filming OnlyFans videos in the agency office, and that's how I was traumatized from a corporate job. This story never fails to shock people, and to be honest, I don't think I've even fully recovered from it. When I graduated university, I got a job at social media agency where I was posting 60 times a week, learning Facebook ads, and overall helping my boss run his company. One day I was scrolling on Twitter and found a video of my boss doing certain things in the office with my coworkers. I actually burst out crying when I found out because my dream of working up the corporate ladder and finding stability in a job I enjoyed had been shattered. Eventually, I confronted the team, straight up asked what was going on. Their response, do you want to join? Does this not sound fake? No was my response, and I
Mm,
ran back to my desk to schedule our client's next post. 2 weeks later, I was fired for making social moody, which he had given me permission for, and that was the end of that. Do I wish I stood up for myself? Yes. Do I regret nothing? Hell no. I know for a fact I would not be running my own agency for 4 years if this had happened. So I guess thanks to my boss for letting me go. Your turn. What's your wildest corporate story? Insane. Almost 1,000 likes, 14 reposts,
been
people
there, someone
laughing. Yeah,
says.
someone said been there. Someone tagged us. Task Over podcast mention. I'm like, hell yeah, you know it. It's happening. This is insane. I guess I shouldn't be like a
I wouldn't
victim
put it past
shame.
anything. I wouldn't
Yeah.
pass anyone. I'm not surprised. But
Well,
also,
yeah, what?
why are you still working if you have an OnlyFans? Like OnlyFans make bank, don't they? I thought they make a ton of money.
I mean, just like there are successful OnlyFans, there are probably unsuccessful OnlyFans accounts,
And
right?
unsuccessful businesses.
And unsuccessful
Oh,
business.
well, what if business was tanking?
Uh-huh.
OnlyFans to
Uh-huh.
to keep them going while they figure out their business. Good for them. If that's the case, good for them. Do what you
Uh-huh.
gotta do, right?
Do what you got to do, supplement that income, have a separate revenue stream. Why not? Right?
Why not?
Diversify.
You got the office, like it's already paid for.
Like AI is taking over tons of jobs. And then you know what? He's the agency owner. He's probably outsourcing so much to AI. He has all this free time on his hands. Use it to make money.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a little fact checking here.
What?
Something came up.
How do you fact check this?
Again, I'm not saying she's wrong, like she's lying.
Oh,
She's
here we
not.
go.
She's probably right. But she said this has allowed her to start their company of 4 years. OnlyFans only got big during COVID and after.
Okay.
So I was just checking to see when OnlyFans was built. If it was
When?
built
And when was it?
in 2016.
Okay.
So I was just looking because that'd be hilarious if it was built after she already left. Like,
Man, OnlyFans has been around for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
yep, 1.5 million content creators.
Dang. That's a lot of naked bodies.
It's not all naked bodies. I'm pretty sure there's like.
Oh, you sound like you
business-oriented-
have some experience in this area. What else is
No,
on
I
there?
listen to podcasts though.
Is it
There's like feet stuff.
there's feed stuff? Are there people who cut fruit on there?
They don't make money. Promise you that. It actually wasn't even made for like what we've made it for, by the way.
Oh, what was it made for? Oh, wait, like Twitch streaming kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
gamers and
basically
stuff.
just a subscription model for your own content. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but what do
Like-
people pay for?
Like you and I
You
could
know.
do a Notorious B2B, like the real roasts, and we could be like only hardcore fans of B2B. Like the expose we wanted to post. It's basically like a Substack.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Wow.
It's like a high-end Stripe. I don't know. It's like a high-end community.
Not OnlyFans is not. Substack is high end
No,
OnlyFans.
I'm talking about money.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Well, if all of this fails, I guess I have some options, right?
I think you're late.
But too late. No one wants to see this. Got it.
1.5. They're already there. Unless you got the feet stuff.
I don't know. Feet stuff's pretty popular now. It's no longer even like a niche kink.
Well, there was that article that like people were getting scammed because it was AI. Like the OnlyFans was just an AI person. and they
AI
were-
feet.
I don't know about feet, but maybe it was hands. But it was like an AI person, and people were paying for that, thinking that was a real person, and like they got a whole thing.
You know what's funny? Yesterday we were talking about that again, and it's like
That?
as with no, just AI being real people. Because like now the big thing is on TikTok and on Reels and stuff is like it's AI Reels, but basically it's people who used to create memes are now creating AI like real memes, you know, where it's like fake stuff, like Donald Trump saying some fake shit. And our eyes are trained, so we could look at that and be like, oh, that's a hilarious AI reel. But the people who are actually going to suffer are always the two groups that suffer when there's some kind of like technology advancement. And that is old people. Like if I showed my mother-in-law that same video, she'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I knew Trump would say that, you know, whatever. But then the super young, impressionable kids are going to be like, oh, yeah. But you and I would be like, yeah, that's obviously fake.
Yes, but like even I mean, just in like they're getting good though.
They
Like,
are
even
getting
I
good.
look at
We've
some of the
covered
videos,
stuff on this podcast where we thought it was real and it was not real.
even videos, like some of them, like, oh wow, like this is like people are getting really good at the movie trailers. So they'll
Yes.
make up movie trailers and
Yes.
like they'll basically take clips from older movies, like maybe, especially if it's like a sequel, but they'll also add an AI, and it's like, wow, that is really like I know it's fake because
Yeah.
like it's close.
Yeah.
It is close. It's really interesting. Like the VO3 stuff is hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
And
All I've
getting good.
heard in group chats with Tim, on LinkedIn with Tim, has been VO3. That's all I've heard.
As it should. Well, okay. Now there's the ones I make and like others that make. There's like all these like fake Bigfoot ones out there.
Uh-huh.
But I'm on VO3 reels now. Like it just anything I put is just like a VO3 video. And I play lacrosse, so I love lacrosse. So there's this funny thing that comes up all the time. It's a guy and his kid in like a van that's packed full of stuff. Selfie mode's like, just drove 1,000 miles to the tournament and our kid forgot the fudging stick. And he's like, oh, mad, but it looks real. Like I can only tell because it's doing the selfie thing that I literally do with the astronaut.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looks real. You could everything looks real. Like it would be a vlogging dad with his kids and they're just forgetting like cleats and stuff. Like it's just funny.
You know what's
It's
funny?
crazy.
No, what's actually funny is that in now 16 episodes, I've not seen your face light up more than when you just described that entire scenario to me.
Oh, it's
You're so
I
excited.
love it. I mean, if I could figure out a way to just do those all day, I will.
Okay, last one before we have to sign off, before retention tanks.
Oh, it's tanking.
Oh, it's tanking. It's tanked.
That's all right.
Okay, so speaking of Obed, he
Obed.
posts
Obed.
Obed. Sorry, shit.
It's
Oh well,
Obed.
I'm not that sorry, but
Obed.
I'm not that sorry because they made a clay feature to help
Oh, you
comment.
found it?
No, this is a different thing. But he commented something a week ago, and he made his post a week ago, and he said, "Please do not comment external links on other people's posts. It kills
Oh
their
yeah.
reach, and it's not fair for that to happen to them because you decided to push your own stuff unsolicited. It's not cool for that author to put time and effort into creating a good post or video, only for this flaky algorithm to kill its reach because some rando decided to be selfish and try to push their own stuff on that post. Please be mindful. Thanks." This was hilarious because like all of us were comment there are people who are pretty active on LinkedIn and we know all the dumb rules, right? Don't put a link in the post, don't be the first comment on your post during this time of day, don't
Hmm.
put a fucking whatever, like don't put videos over 3 minutes, Tim.
Don't put
Anyway,
3 emojis, but do 9. Like
yeah,
what?
don't, yeah, no 5 hashtags, but put 3. All these like dumb rules. This is the first time a bunch of us had even heard about this, and so there were a bunch of people who actually do post on LinkedIn all the time, and they're like, wait, is this a thing? I didn't know it was a thing either. And I sent it to you, like, did you know this was a thing? And you're like, I don't know. Discuss. Do you think this is a thing?
I see. So maybe I think it's probably really hard to track, to be honest. But on one hand, if it's like people like, and you probably get these all the time. I only get them like once in a while, but like it's just people that are saying, "Hello, my name is blah blah blah. I would love to sell you backlinks," and it's like a link. Like if you get
Ew,
a bunch of those,
you get comments like that on your
oh,
post?
and I'll comment. I'll be like, "I think this is supposed to be a DM. Like I think you just messed up. Like it sounds like a DM, but they're just like going in the
Okay.
comments."
Yeah.
I think if you do those, that probably does hurt your reach if you get like a few of those. But if it's like the classic, like, all right, you post about the notorious B2B, and then I put a comment to the video,
Yeah.
I don't know if that hurts it or not, to be honest.
I mean, you wouldn't know unless it's like you're accustomed to getting thousands of freaking like there's been so many times where it's like, oh, I'll have a post that does really well. The next day it won't do as well, but I've never chalked it up to like Tim's trying to sabotage me with a link or whatever. It's like I'm usually thinking, oh well, shit, my content wasn't really good, or my hook
Right.
wasn't that great, or it was the time of day, or whatever it was, not interesting as a subject. That is just not something that I would think about. And like, yeah, I mean, there's sometimes I'll get spammed by like some kind of company that's like, this is exactly what so and so AI
Yeah.
does, and like blah blah blah, and they'll post that, and I just delete it.
Oh, you delete the comment.
I delete it if it's like some kind of thing that looks like it's selling to other
Mm.
people. You know, if someone's like I have this guy who posts all comments on my stuff all the time. His is like landing rabbit or something like that. So it's kind of adjacent to what I do. And he'll talk about like some features of his product or whatever, landing page rabbit, I don't know. And I leave his stuff on there because I know he's a real person. He's having a conversation. If he wants to say something, that's fine, like a little plug. But when it's someone who's straight up like, I've never heard of this company before, this thing, and like it just looks like a straight up sell, I will delete it because I'm like, that just looks shitty. Like that's
Mm.
not, I don't want it to deter other people from commenting on my stuff because they think they're going to get bombarded by this person.
Good point.
You
Maybe
just
that's,
leave it on there and question them.
I don't get that many, to be honest. So I
Yeah, me
don't
neither.
think about it too much. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it hurts your reach. Like that'd be interesting.
Who's the person that's spamming up and
Well,
putting all
that's
this
probably
stuff
what
on this-
happened is
Yes.
you probably got someone that's spamming them over and over again. I mean, if they do that, why don't they? Ooh, they shouldn't do this, but if they do that, why wouldn't they do that for AI comments?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That would
But
hurt a lot of
Ding's
people.
comment was my favorite, which was someone less respectful than me has the opportunity to do the funniest thing right now. Hilarious.
I
I
wish I
dare.
thought about that.
Yeah,
Actually.
I know. I wish I did too. I dare you to comment on Obed's post right now while we're recording and say, have you tried writing better content?
No, I like Obed, so I'm not doing that.
He doesn't listen to this podcast. It's fine. It's
Yeah, but
whatever.
he reads his comments though,
Yeah, that's true.
so I'm not gonna do that.
But you guys are friends, so you can say stuff like that to him. Like you could to me. Don't say stuff like
I
that.
don't think we're there. I think we're friends, but I don't think we're there.
You're not like our level.
Yeah, he doesn't
Okay.
text me that much. He texts me like once.
He doesn't text me that much. Okay. I'm not that needy of a friend. But anyway,
Yeah.
TBD on this. I don't know. I don't get a lot of people posting links to stuff on my side. He's obviously a way bigger creator than I am, so maybe people are doing that, or they're trying to sell him because he works at Clay. So there could be a lot of that too. Like, you know,
Could be.
people aren't
It'd be a
selling
good thing to try.
to us chumps on LinkedIn. They don't give a shit about us.
I guess
So-
if we hate someone, it's good to know because then we can just do it every time. If we just don't like someone.
Well, now I'm going to do it. What kind of link do we post? Do we just do a Notorious B2B episode, or like do we make it a
episode every
real
time.
spammy link? What do you think?
Both.
Okay, let's
Two.
just bunch. Okay,
Two of them. Two
Yeah,
for-
the double. I learned the double comment from you. Served me very well. So I think we could do that too.
Wait until you figure out the triple comment.
You know what's funny? We should actually tell people what we're doing on their post. So if someone posts something, then just be like, you know, hey,
Give us the data.
Yeah, I love this content. And then next one be like, just post a link, just like, hey, I heard that links actually lower reach. I'm just testing it out on your content, and then see
That's funny, actually.
see
I
what
might
they
do that.
say.
That's
Yeah,
good.
okay, let's do that. All right.
Let's do it to like Welch, that Welch guy, like Justin Welch.
Justin Welch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna care. If anyone, he'd know the rules, and I feel like
But if it tanks his reach, he's gonna care.
yeah, maybe. Whatever. He's made $10 million off of LinkedIn. What does he give a shit?
Because he wants 20. Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's true.
probably
Okay,
got bills.
retention. Not retention.
All right, retention rate's out. See ya.
And that's a wrap on Notorious B2B, where we expose the nonsense and remind you that most B2B marketing is just a very expensive guessing game.
Don't and post a passive aggressive LinkedIn poll about it. We'll still find you.
And if you have B2B drama we should cover, slide into our DMs. We accept screenshots, leaked internal memos, and questionable brand rebrands.
Until next time, keep your marketing unhinged and your LinkedIn bio free of the words growth hacker. See you later.
Later, skater.
Pop.